Who's a big kitty? Oh, you're fu-
How doomed you are. You simply fail to understand that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
You suck. What in the Hey guys, now you can follow me on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/UltraMaximusReviews.
Hello YouTube, Ultra Maximus back with another Transformers review, and today we're taking a look at another Titans Return figure, and it's Alpha Trion with Autobot Sovereign. So, yeah, I got this guy over the Christmas holiday. I've never actually seen this figure in hand, so it's really cool to have this guy. It's a new mold, which is pretty cool, and it's Alpha Trion. This is only like, I think maybe what, the third, maybe fourth official Alpha Trion figure we've gotten from Hasbro. I do have a third-party version, which is very cool. I'll add a card to that here if you're interested in taking a look at that, or down in the description below. But yeah, so this guy's a triple changer. Obviously, Headmaster, he turns into a lion and an aircraft carrier, it looks like, or a spaceship. I think it's an aircraft carrier. Correct me if I'm wrong below. I guess I'll find out in the instructions. But definitely pretty cool looking. So let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging. So here we have Alpha Trion in package. We get this artwork of his little Headmaster unit flying off there. He's very purple and pink and silver, which is interesting. He's got a little translucent sword there. It says Transformers Generations. It's got his name. There it is. He's a triple changer. Side of the packaging has the same artwork with a little bit more artwork. It says Titans Return. Top of the package, got the Autobot logo there. Transformers Generations. Autobot logo there. So just kind of a close-up of the artwork. Looks pretty cool. Definitely digging that. There is in box. And then here's the artwork on the side of the package. Looking pretty cool. Back of the packaging. Very similar to what we've seen in the line thus far. We get how the head gimmick works across the entire line. We get Chrome Dome, which I have and will review. We also get Astro Train, which I've seen. Haven't picked him up because I've got Sentinel Prime, and I'll probably eventually get that guy. Blaster, I have not yet seen. And then Brawn, which is interesting. I may pick him up if I see him. And here's Alpha Trion right here. He goes robot. His little head turns into a robot. He turns into a lion. He turns into, I swear that's an aircraft carrier, what it looks like to me. And then, yeah, he's got a little bio. I'm guessing we're going to get a Leo Convoy repaint out of this guy. I just, if they haven't already put it out there, I'm calling it right now. And then here's the bio. Man, that's awful tiny, so we'll do halfsies here. So if you want to pause and read this, you can. So there's that half. And then, that's gracious. Come over here. There's the other half. If you want to read that stuff, you are more than welcome to. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the packaging. Let's go ahead and get Alpha Trion out of box and see what we think. So here we have Alpha Trion out of package, and this is an interesting figure. Very, very interesting. The more I play around with it, transform it, and kind of pose it, I don't know, there's just something off about him. He looks very grumpy, very evil. He does not look very majestic and stoic, as I always think of Alpha Trion, and I don't know. There's something about it that seems treacherous, much like Sentinel Prime from the movies, which is kind of interesting. And I don't know. Yeah, he doesn't feel like the stoic good guy to me. That's for sure. Now, as I said in the box look earlier here in this video, they are going to do if it's not already on pre-order, a Leo Prime redeco of this, which will have an Optimus Prime face there, and that looks pretty cool. I may end up picking it up because I do like the idea of this character. And here's his card that he comes with, so we get a full shot of the body art, which looks pretty cool. The original concept art that they had for this guy was really interesting and very, very different. He had like a staff. He was much more like the original Alpha Trion. and the lion was way more Beast Wars looking, which would have been really, really cool, but I think that changed when they decided to make them all triple changers. Now for comparison, here we have Alpha Trion next to a couple other bots from the Titans Returns line. Of course, we have Blur and Gnaw, and Blur being a deluxe figure and Gnaw being a Legends class figure. He does stack up a lot taller than these guys, which is cool. He is a nice beefy robot and definitely very cool. Now, as far as the gimmicks and everything, he is a headmaster unit, obviously. This guy does pop off, and he becomes Sovereign, which we'll take him off here. And one thing I don't like about this one, it feels like I'm going to break the little headpiece. Popping it in and out on this guy, the pieces are just super, super tight. So just kind of a close-up. There's Alpha Trion's head. Here is Sovereign, which I don't know if you're going to be able to see or not. It's kind of red. It basically looks like a little Optimus Prime, is what it reminds me of, and I'm sure will be painted as such. They'll just put an Optimus Prime face over this for the Leo Prime, which is pretty cool. Now, I watch when I put this thing on here, he just does not like to go on, and it almost has to go on in like 2 steps. Like, see how pop, pop. So it goes in there. Now, he does have a gimmick where he's got these big ear things, much like Sentinel Prime and Astro Train. You push on this little, looks like a spark chamber, which is pretty cool, and you push on that. His little earpieces pop out, and it's a bit much. I don't particularly care for them. And the other thing that is annoying is, and it's hard to do this with the head on there, so I'm going to take the head off. And I thought the thing was broken because when you push down, they pop right back up. Now, Sentinel Primes didn't do that, and I'm like, man, I think I got a broken one. And I almost disassembled it to look for the broken part inside the chest. And then I watched Pia's channel. He was having the same issue, and then he discovered if you push this down and press the spark button, it locks it into place, and then it will pop out. And then I've also noticed if you push it down and push it down again, a lot of the times it will go ahead and click. So you push down and push a little further in, it will click into place, which is weird. It's not, and that's not in the instructions at all to do that. But yeah, so FYI. If you have not gotten this figure, or you got it and you think it's broken, it's not. It's just engineered funky. And then, to be honest, I think he looks better without the earpieces. I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know. There's something about it. I think it just looks a little bit better. Now, he does have his claw gun thing, which I just have stored on the back. This, of course, allows Sovereign to ride in it. He can hold it as a gun, like this, and then put little Sovereign. He's coming on and off of this bot today, so we'll put Sovereign in, so that he can ride around as the weapon. So you can do that, you know, just like any other play gimmick with the guns that we've seen thus far in Titans Return. So that's pretty cool. Now, I do like the fact that they made this gun look like a claw, but I wish there was a way to flip it over. Come on, buddy. Stand up. His feet are kind of goofy, too. I wish there was a way to turn it this way and mount it onto the wrists to give him kind of like a claw. Kind of Leo Breaker style. I think that would have been a lot cooler, and maybe the Leo Prime does that, I don't know, but yeah, I think that would have been really, really cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and put this guy back on again for the 15th billionth time. Get on there. Plop. So there he is. The other cool thing is his sword, which I'll take out of his hand here. I love this. This is freaking awesome. I expect to see the sword used a few more times. We may get a Dark Star Saber out of it. I can see them repainting that black and making that a translucent purple for one of the Decepticons. I think that would be really cool, but it's a very solid piece, very different from what we've seen in the, not Combiner Wars, but the Titans Returns figures thus far, but very cool. I am liking it a lot. Now, as far as articulation goes on this guy, his head
does rotate back and forth, and even with the big earpieces, he's got that piece there where he can still move back and forth, which I think is a very cool gimmick. There is no twist at the waist because of transformation. His arms move up like that. There's a hinge that goes out that way. He can rotate there. He can also twist thanks to a mushroom peg. His hands twist, that's the only motion they have. His legs go out really far, mainly for transformation. That's on a ball socket. And then his knees move backwards. His feet move up and down, and that's really about it. This cod piece can flip up, so you can kind of move it a little bit better. Oh, come unplugged there. But yeah, that's pretty much it as far as articulation goes on this guy. It works. I wish it was a little bit better, but because of the design, it's not. And then the feet are really, really awkward because they don't connect very well. You got to really make sure they're straight to get them to stand right. So that's kind of weird. So taking a closer look at the figure itself, I do appreciate the sculpt. He just doesn't look very stoic to me. He looks just grumpy or evil or something. I like the color scheme. I love the detail around the chest and the chest spark and the claws that come up. The lions on the shoulders look pretty cool. The sword is amazing. They did a great job with that. That's probably my favorite feature of the figure is the sword. And that may be transferred over to an Optimus Prime or something. I don't know. I really do like it. The back of the figure, I mean, it's okay. I like how the cockpit stows away back there. The arms are very, very flat because they just form the inside of the head there. You can store the gun either on the shoulders or on his butt, which is kind of interesting. The other thing is, I'll go ahead and display his little ears, make them pop up. It's a nice detail, but it just looks like it's too much, I think. I just don't know why. What do you guys think? Now, taking a look at the midsection of the figure, again, the back of the bot, very kind of plain. It's not too terribly hollow, which I do appreciate. A lot of the figures get very hollow, but this one does pretty well. The arms are okay. I wish there were a little more articulation in the hands. And the gun, while I like how it looks like a claw, I wish it could flip around and become, you know, another claw-type weapon. I do like the little metal piece dangling off his crotch there. I think that looks pretty cool. It would have been nice if there was some way to get a cape onto this guy. Who knows? Maybe we'll get that in a third party. And finally, taking a look at the legs of the figure, again, very solid. I do like that. I like the claws on the kneecaps. I think that looks really cool. The feet are a bit goofy because they just don't feel quite big enough, and you have to get them exactly flat to get them to stand proper. Otherwise, he'll just want to topple right over, and they feel cut off. I don't know. There's just something off about them. I can't put my finger on it. I mean, they work, but I think they could have been engineered a little bit better. Now, Alpha Trion does have two alternate modes. He turns into a lion and like a space aircraft carrier looking thing. There is an alternate unofficial base mode. I will add a card to that right here so you can go check it out. I'll also add a link down in the description below. That was very, very cool, very fun. It reminds me of the Cat's Lair from Thundercats, and a big thumbs up to the fan who discovered that and posted it on Cybertron.com. Very cool, had a lot of fun with it. So let's go ahead and transform this guy into the space aircraft carrier thing and see what we think. And here we have Alpha Trion in his spaceship aircraft carrier mode thing, and it reminds me a lot of the 3P version of this, which is kind of interesting. If you have not seen a video on that, I'll add a card to that video as well as a link down in the description below. Overall, it's not too bad. You can put a little Sovereign in his gun right there if you want to, or you can lift the canopy piece up right here and then set him inside of there. And there, buddy. And then close that down, and then he can fly in the ship like thus. So overall, this is not too terribly bad. Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty decent. Got Got the sword on the side there. The cockpit also looks like a lion, which is interesting. A little translucent orange lion head. So very interesting. I did not know that this piece was there when I first started playing with it, and then I was reading the instructions, and this little landing piece came down. I thought that was kind of interesting, but very, very cool. Overall, I do like this mode. I think it works, and it's relatively simple to get the bot into this, form. Now let's go ahead and transform Alpha Trion into his lion mode and see what we think about that. So here we have Alpha Trion in the lion mode, and it's a unicorn. That's just kind of strange. I think this is the weaker of the two alt modes, honestly, but I'm liking it a little bit more as I transform it. Overall, it's okay. It just seems a little weak, especially in this back area here, and the way the tail connects in. There's a lot of gappage going on back there, and yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, it's okay, and I wish there was more articulation in the head. The head is very, very static there, and I don't like the unicorn. I wish that could fold in or something. That just looks very silly to me. And it's got two lion heads. There's a lion head on the back, and then the lion head there, so very interesting, and it's like a female lion and a male lion all together. It's multi-gendered. Oh no. And you know, of course, little Sovereign can ride inside up here, just like he can in the other alternate mode. I do like the tail being the sword. I think that is pretty cool looking. In the original artwork, it looks like he was going to have a staff that would become the tail, and that was lost between artwork and toy. But yeah, I've got mixed feelings about this mode. Again, I think the Space Carrier is a lot stronger mode. So is the Titans Return Alpha Trion a figure that you want in your Transformers collection? I'm kind of on the fence with this guy. I like the character. I think this is sculpted pretty well. It's interesting. It's different for Alpha Trion. It's a pretty fun toy, but I think the modes are slightly weak, and I wanted more out of it, to be honest. You know, I'd like a cape out of the thing. I'd like the lion mode to be a little bit beefier, a little more articulated. The Space Carrier is pretty decent. I can't really complain about that too terribly much. I love the sword. I think that is really cool. So if you're an Alpha Trion completist, you're probably really going to like this. If you're collecting all the Titans Return stuff, you're going to pick it up. But to be honest, I definitely wouldn't pay more than retail for it. And you know, having this figure in hand, I think I'd rather wait and get the Takara Leo Prime over this figure, just because I think it's going to be a better paint sculpt, and it's going to look, you know, a little bit cooler because it's Leo Prime. Maybe we'll get a Nemesis Leo Prime out of it too. I know they do that on occasion, which looks pretty cool. So overall, I mean, it's okay, but it's not the best in my opinion. So a little unfortunate, but hey, it is what it is. So if you want to get this mold, but you're not too overhyped about Alpha Trion, wait for Leo Prime. So there he is, Alpha Trion from Titans Return.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, thumbs it up. If you hate this video, thumbs it down. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Don't forget to subscribe and share, like us on Facebook, and look for more videos in the future.